Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be going over the MLB slate on DraftKings and Yahoo for Thursday, September the 5th. We're going to look at the 7-game night slate. I did make a video earlier today going over the early slate, the 4-game early, so if you are planning to play that, would definitely appreciate it if you would check that video out. Pretty much did a slate breakdown, talked about my favorite pitcher plays, favorite stacks, favorite hitters. You can check that video out. Also made 3 videos actually, for NFL. I made one for the NFL main slate on Yahoo. I made one for the DraftKings main slate, and then I also made the showdown video for the Thursday night football game. So if you're planning to play NFL this Sunday, or if you're planning to play the showdown slate on Thursday night, definitely would appreciate it if you would check those videos out. They're all on my channel. I've been uploading a lot lately, so if you are subscribed with notifications on, you should have got the notifications that those videos were uploaded. But anyways, we're going to start off with pitcher. Work our way through the pitcher player pool, talk about this 7-game slate, start off at the top and then work our way down. I'll be sure to hit on all the options that I like for today. Then we'll talk about 3 specific hitters I really like, and towards the end of the video, we will go over some stacks that I'll be going to. But before we do get started, guys, would appreciate it if you would drop a like on the video, and if you are new to the channel, make sure you click that subscribe button down below, so that way you don't miss out on any of my new videos. But at the top of the pitcher player pool, Strasburg is our most expensive option on this 7-game slate. He is $11,100 on DraftKings, and on Yahoo, Strasburg is also the most expensive pitcher at $52. So this is a really tough spot for Strasburg, having to go into Atlanta to face the Braves. Braves have a pretty decent total, I guess you could say, 4.4 implied run total. It's going to be 87 degrees with winds blowing out to center. Just don't really have a lot of interest in Strasburg. Don't feel like I need to pay for him on the slate. There are a lot of expensive bats I want to get in, and there's some good mid-range and cheap pitching that you can go to today, to where I don't feel like you need to pay up for Strasburg. And then Jose Quintana, I really just have no interest in at $10,500. He's just too expensive. I don't want to pay that price tag for him against the Brewers. If I'm going to pay up for any pitcher, it would be Strasburg, but I don't want either guy. I really like this mid-range. I think there are a lot of good plays in this mid-range. Colby Allard's one that stands out to me for $7,700 against the Orioles. I like him a lot here. It's a very favorable matchup. The Orioles do have strikeouts in their lineup versus left-handed pitching. You can get some Ks from the guys at the bottom of the lineup. You can get some Ks from like Severino. You got a lefty in there, and DJ Stewart, who will strike out. Richie Martin will strike out. Jonathan VR is much better from his left side, so facing the lefty, he'll be batting right-handed where he's not as good from. I'm very interested to see what the totals in this game are going to be. If they're going to be somewhat high, I think they will be, because Vegas probably won't have much respect for Allard or John Means. I think both of these pitchers, though, are 2 of the better pitchers on the slate. Both are in very favorable matchups, and Colby Allard, a young talent for the Rangers, I do like a lot here. I played a decent amount of him earlier this year when he faced the White Sox, and he was really good. Had 30 DraftKings points. I did play a little bit of him in his last start against Seattle, and he was okay with 5 2/3 innings, allowed 7 hits, 2 runs, got 4 strikeouts. I think 20 DraftKings points is easily possible for Colby Allard here. It's just a good matchup. It's not a great ballpark, but it's a really bad lineup in the Orioles. I do like Allard at $7,700 as a SP1. And then John Means playing both pitchers from this game. Usually not something I do, but I think you can definitely do it today. John Means I like a lot here against the Rangers. He's $37 on Yahoo. He's very cheap on DraftKings at just $6,100. So this is a very favorable matchup for John Means. Left-handed pitcher facing the Rangers. The Rangers versus the lefties this year have just been absolutely terrible. They're going to roll out a lot of lefties as well. Calhoun a lefty, Chu a lefty, Calhoun a lefty, Odor left-handed, Ronald Guzman's left-handed. And then the righties you're not really worried about. Andrus is a decent hitter, but not a guy I'm really afraid of. Solak does have some power, but you can strike him out. Danny Santana has power, but he will strike out. Scott Heineman's not a good hitter. Jeff Mathis is a terrible hitter. Really think this is a very favorable spot for John Means. And he's a guy that's actually not that bad of a pitcher. He's actually been okay this year. When he gets the right matchup, he can definitely put up decent numbers. And I think this is one of the better matchups that he's had this year. For what it's worth, he did face the Rangers earlier this year and was pretty good. 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, 5 strikeouts, 17 DraftKings points. Could easily see Means putting up 17 to 20 DK points today. And at $6,100, he's probably going to be one of the better cheap SP2 plays on the slate. So he's a guy that I like quite a bit if you're looking for a cheap SP2. But some other pitchers that I think we can go to on this slate, if you're going really cheap, Dario Agrazal I don't think is the worst play here. He's 5,300. He's the cheapest available pitcher on DraftKings, and he's in a home matchup against the Marlins. So he's someone that you can consider. Someone like Eliza Hernandez, I don't think is terrible at 6K, but I do prefer Means for just 100 more. Austin Pruitt, I'm interested in. I want to see how deep he went in his last game. He threw 77 pitches in his last start. He threw 83 against the Orioles. It looks like he's going to start this game, so I imagine he's probably able to go about 90 pitches. In that pitcher's park in Tampa Bay against the Blue Jays, Austin Pruitt could definitely be a guy you look to for cheap at 6,900. I don't think there's really any clear just must-play pitcher on this slate, so I'm just going to be mixing in a lot of different pitchers. Don't really see myself paying up, so I'm going to have different combinations of Allard, Means. I'll have some Agrizal, probably have a little bit of Pruitt, have a little bit of Hernandez. Even if you want to go to someone like Max Fried, I don't think that's a terrible idea. Or someone like Wade Miley against Seattle could be playable. But I really like Allard and Means from that Texas-Baltimore game. I think both guys can put up pretty good outings, and both are in pretty favorable matchups. But since we did pay down at pitcher, we've got a ton of salary to pay up for bats, over $4,500 remaining per player. I do want to start off with the Red Sox. The Red Sox are a team that I love here against Martin Perez. Such a favorable matchup. Martin Perez just not that good of a pitcher. He gives up a lot of hard contact to righties, does give up power to righties, and we know how good this Red Sox lineup is versus left-handed pitching, how many good righties they have. Betts, Bogarts, and Martinez are obviously the top three, but Sam Travis has been pretty good this year. Christian Vasquez has had a pretty good season as well. The lefties aren't easy outs either. Devers can hit lefties. Benintendi is okay versus lefties. 6.6 total for the Red Sox. They stand out as one of the top stacks on the slate. Love Mookie and I love JD. Two of the top outfield plays in my opinion on this slate. And two guys I'm going to be looking to pay up for on both sides. They're very expensive on Yahoo. Like Martinez is 27, but still pretty easy to get to him if you're not paying up for pitching. Mookie at 20 feels way underpriced. He should be up there with JD in price, but I do really like JD and Mookie here. Two guys that just mash left-handed pitching, two guys that have a ton of power versus lefties. And like I said, Martin Perez, just not that good of a pitcher. This is a tough spot for him. Even in decent matchups this year, he's still really struggled. Like he got crushed against Detroit in his last start. Gave up 2 runs against Detroit. Before that, gave up 2 runs to Texas. 4 walks. Just not getting a lot of Ks. He's giving up runs. He's giving up some home runs as well. When he gets a bad matchup, you see Perez really struggle. Like he's really struggled against the Braves, really struggled against the Royals, struggled in his last start against Detroit. I expect this is a spot where Martin Perez is going to have some trouble. So I really like the Red Sox bats. Love JD, love Mookie. I think Xander's the top shortstop play. Sam Travis is only $3,300 on DraftKings. So if you need a cheap first baseman, he's one of the best cheap values you can find. He's first base and outfield eligible, so he makes a lot of sense if you're stacking the Red Sox. One of my favorite stacks on the slate by far. Then another team I think you can go to are the Astros. 5.9 implied run total against Marco Gonzalez. One guy that really stands out in that Astros lineup is Jose Altuve. He's only $4,500 on DraftKings, facing a left-handed pitcher, and Marco Gonzalez, who's just a mediocre pitcher at best. This is a spot where Altuve should be able to crush, and this is a spot where I think the Astros can put up some runs here against Gonzalez. Springer, Altuve, Bregman, Gurriel, these guys all have a ton of power versus lefties. Abraham Toro's been really good this year. Chirinos has some power. And then Alvarez and Brantley, even though it's lefty-lefty, both of those guys are great hitters. So love the Astros here. Really like Jose Altuve on DraftKings, given his $4,500 salary. I think he's a pretty strong play on Yahoo as well if you want to pay up for him at second base. He is $20, which is kind of expensive, and I feel like second base might be a position we go cheap at. Like someone like Adam Frazier stands out at only $15 as a value. But if you do want to pay up at this position, Altuve is obviously one of the top options at $20. But moving over to first base, I'd like to pay up for a guy here. Josh Bell on Yahoo is only $19. He's going to be my 5th play on Yahoo. So this is a really good spot for Josh Bell. Pretty decent spot for the Pirates as well. I honestly think I'll have some exposure to Hernandez because he's so cheap, and cheap pitching is just something I'm going to be looking for on this slate. I don't really want to pay up. So any viable cheap pitcher that I think I could play, I'm probably going to have some exposure to. So I'll have some exposure to Hernandez, but I do like some of these Pirates bats. I think Josh Bell, one of the best hitters in this lineup, one of the best hitters in the league, honestly. This guy mashes right-handed pitching. He's great from his left side when he's batting left-handed, and he will be batting left-handed here against a righty. So really like Josh Bell at just $19 on Yahoo. If you want to go to him on DraftKings as well, I think he's a pretty strong first base play. But I feel like on at first base on DraftKings, I'm probably going to be paying down for Sam Travis. But you could definitely go to Josh Bell at 4,800 if you want to pay up for him. But that's it for my 5 plays today for DraftKings and for Yahoo. Now looking at some stacks real quick before we end the video. 2 of my favorite stacks by a landslide are going to be the Red Sox here versus Martin Perez, and then the Astros versus Marco Gonzalez. I like a ton. But there are definitely some other teams you could consider. Like if you want to go to some Twins bats against Nathan Eovaldi, I could see that working out. The Twins have a ton of power. Eovaldi really hasn't been that good this year. Coming in relief, starting really doesn't matter. Eovaldi's just really struggled. So I could see stacking against him. Maybe some other stacks like the Cubs against Chase Anderson in Miller Park. That could be a stack you look at. The Rays against Trent Thornton could also be a stack you go to. These are going to be more secondary teams. Like I'm really going to be loading up on the Red Sox, going to be loading up on the Astros, probably going to be loading up on some Twins bats as well. That's where I'm really going to be looking to for my stacks today. But I think that is it for stacks, guys, and I think that is it for the 7-game slate. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video, and hopefully it did help you. If you enjoyed, make sure you drop a like down below. I would really appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I have a ton of NFL vids on my channel right now. Week 1 for DraftKings, Week 1 for Yahoo picks. You can check those out. Picks for the showdown slate for Thursday Night Football is already up on my channel as well. Going to keep putting out a ton of NFL videos rest of season, and I'm still going to be uploading MLB daily pretty much till the regular season ends. Haven't decided yet if I'm going to make videos for the postseason or not, but we still got about a month left of MLB. I'll be uploading MLB videos daily until the regular season's over with. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed the content. I do appreciate you watching the video. Like I said, make sure you drop a like and subscribe if you enjoyed. If you have any questions, you can hit me up on Twitter at the DFS_GOAT, or you can leave any comments, any questions down below in the comment section. But good luck tonight, guys. Appreciate you watching the video. We will see you in the next one. Peace.